Hey, welcome. We're about to go on this really cool journey, starting with the tiniest bits that make you, well, you, and zooming all the way out to see the entire living planet. We're going to crack open the blueprint, the one that organizes every single living thing. Ready? Let's dive in. So let's kick things off with a question. Look at these three. A person, a tree that's a total giant, and a little organism you can't even see. On the surface, they seem completely different, right? But what if I told you they're all put together using the exact same playbook? It's a pretty wild idea, and the answer is one of the most amazing concepts in all of science. And here it is. The big secret is this incredible ladder of organization. This is the universal blueprint we're going to walk through. It's basically how life goes from something super simple to something insanely complex, from the microscopic world to the entire globe. This structure, this is the key to seeing how it's all connected. Okay, so to really get a handle on this ladder, we're going to take two trips. First up, we're starting with a single individual, someone just like you, and we're going to zoom out to see where we all fit in the grand scheme of things. So here's our starting point, the organism. An organism is just any single individual living thing. A dog, a flower, and yup, you. You are a complete, self-contained organism, doing all the things that life requires. Let's just lock that in as our home base as we start to pull back. All right, let's take one step up that ladder. Organisms almost never live completely alone. When you get a bunch of individuals of the same species hanging out in the same area, that's a population. So think of all the pigeons in a city square or all the people living in your neighborhood. Let's zoom out one more time. That same city square with the pigeons, it also has populations of squirrels, oak trees, grass, ants. You get the idea. When you take all those different populations of all the different species that are interacting in one spot, you've got yourself a community. It's this awesome, messy, living tapestry. But life isn't just about interacting with other living things, is it? The next level up is the ecosystem. This is the whole shebang, the entire community of living things, we call those biotic factors, plus all the non-living stuff they depend on. Things like the sunlight, the water, the dirt, the air. Those are the abiotic factors. The ecosystem is where the living and the non-living worlds meet and work together. And for our final zoom out, we hit the top, the biosphere. This is the highest level, the biggest scale you can get. It's literally the sum of every single ecosystem on Earth, from the deepest parts of the ocean to the air high above the mountains. It's the entire zone of life on our planet. Pretty incredible. Okay, so we've seen how we fit into the big wide world. Now, for the second part of our journey, we're going to flip the script. We'll go right back to the organism, back to you, and this time we're zooming in. We're going to take ourselves apart piece by piece to find the fundamental stuff we're made of. The first layer we find inside an organism like us is the organ system. You can think of these as the major departments in the company of you. You've got your circulatory system moving blood around, the nervous system sending messages, the digestive system handling lunch. Each one is a whole team of organs working together on a huge job. And if we zoom in on one of those systems, we find the individual organs. An organ is a specific structure, like your heart, your brain, or your stomach, that does a very particular job. So if the organ system is the department, the organ is like the star employee who's a specialist in one thing. So what's an organ made of then? Let's go one step deeper, down to the tissues. A tissue is like a fabric that's woven from groups of similar cells, all doing the same thing. You've got muscle tissue that contracts so you can move, and nervous tissue that passes along signals. Tissues are the specialized materials used to build every single organ. And at last, we've reached the bottom of the ladder, the very foundation of it all, the cell. This is it, the smallest possible thing that we can truly call alive. Every single living creature, from the tiniest bacterium to the biggest whale, is made of these incredible tiny engines. This is it. The fundamental building block of life. So, we've just seen the ladder of organization for one being. But what about the millions upon millions of different kinds of organisms out there? How on earth do we even begin to make sense of all that incredible diversity? It is a huge challenge, right? Just imagine a library with millions of books scattered everywhere with no card catalog and no sections. Total chaos. Well, biologists were facing that exact problem, and they came up with a really, really smart solution. And that solution is a field of biology called taxonomy. You can think of it as biology's giant filing system, and it has three basic jobs. First, identification. You have to figure out what you're looking at. Second, nomenclature. That's just a fancy word for giving it a unique, official scientific name. And third, classification, which is putting it into the right folders or groups based on how it's related to everything else. The way this filing system works is as a hierarchy, kind of like those Russian nesting dolls. You start at the top with these huge, broad categories, like kingdom, and then each level down gets more and more specific until you finally land on one single unique species. This is a perfect way to see how it works. Let's just classify ourselves. We start in kingdom Animalia because we're animals, then phylum Chordata because we have a spinal cord, class Mammalia because we've got hair and produce milk. See how we're getting more specific? Order Primates, family Hominidae, genus Homo, until finally we get to our unique species name, Homo sapiens. Okay, we've gone from the biosphere all the way down to the cell, and we've looked at the system for sorting all of life. But let's just pause for a second and ask the big question. So what? Why does any of this matter? Well, understanding this blueprint is everything. It gives us a logical map that takes the ridiculously complex world of biology and makes it systematic, makes it something we can actually study. It gives us one universal system for identifying and naming things, which is just crucial for everything from developing new medicines to conservation efforts. But for me, the most amazing part is how it reveals the deep family relationships that connect every living thing. It's like a shared history written right into our own bodies. And that leaves us with this final thought. We've got this beautiful, complex blueprint for all life on Earth. But it does make you wonder, right? If we ever found life on another planet, would it play by the same rules? Would it be made of cells and form ecosystems? Or would it have a completely alien blueprint, something we can't even begin to imagine? Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.